Hi everyone, welcome to the new session of object-oriented programming language, where we would be discussing one of the most important feature of your OOPS, that is encapsulation. Before moving ahead of anything, okay, so don't forget to like and subscribe this channel, and also don't forget to hit the bell icon. Let's try to figure it out what is encapsulation. But before discussing about encapsulation, I let's figure it out one of the use cases. Imagine like you all are developers, and like we have created some model, or we also can say we have created some classes. And as we are the developers, so we know, or how your classes or how our classes, my classes, would be behaving. What will be the value which needs to be set for the instance variables, and if anyone calls it, so what should be the value that needs to be passed. Now what happened is, like, if in your organization someone is trying to use your class, and in that case they have passed some inadequate value which you would not have thought that your program would be handling. So of course it's very clear that in that case your program would behave differently, and this happened because you might have not followed, or you would not have followed encapsulation. So we will see what is encapsulation in this today's session. We will also learn how to achieve the your encapsulation, and also I will show you one of like a simple program on the same. So if you google it, or if you search it in Wikipedia, like you will find there are a lot of definitions. There are a lot of definitions on on Google, okay. And in wiki you can find something something which defines encapsulation is wrapping of all the data and the methods on which they operate into a single unit. In simple words we can say that, encapsulation is nothing but it's mostly bundling all the things, in the sense, like in our classes we would have the data, and data can be, your data are mostly in the terms of attributes, and we have behavior of the classes also. We need to wrap all those things into a single unit, and then we should provide the access to any of the developers who wants to access. So there are two things we need to look forward for the encapsulation, and that is, first thing, we need to restrict the access of directly accessing your data attributes. And at the same time, what we need to do is we need to wrap the data attributes with the methods on which they need to operate. So let's figure it out how it needs to be achieved programmatically. So as I said, if anyone wants to achieve encapsulation, so there are three things which need to be followed. So the first thing would be, you need to keep your instance variables uh, private or protected. And by doing so, what will happen is, any class, okay, if in future if anyone wants to access your class, so they need to access it through some methods rather directly giving the access to the attributes. So you need to create some methods, okay. And you need to follow the Java Bean convention, naming convention or standards. So like if I have age as one of the attribute in your class or in my class, so in that case there should be some methods like set age or get age, which should signify that, yes, if anyone wants to access that age, so they need to either they need to go with get age, and if anyone wants to set some value, so they need to call the set age. And in order to access those methods, you need to mark it as a public. So here the things are very clear. First, you need to mark the variables as a private, and need to have the method setter and getter methods, and like make it public.